Hi everyone. Welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, episode 22, where Aoi and Ageha are trying to clear up the list of things to do written in Kotori's notebook. And hopefully it will give Kotori less of an excuse to skip school. So they've already went through a couple of items and Kotori crossed off one. But there's one item that's really big and it's written on top of the list. And that one is to soar in the sky through the clouds. And Kotori mentions that this notebook is not hers originally. She found it in her room when she moved into the Flying Fish dormitory. So I wonder who it belongs to originally. And I wonder if Kotori is still interested in fulfilling that first item on the list. But we'll see what happens next. So let's continue from here. So it looks like Ageha just continued or completed another item on Kotori's list. Well, my eyes are still flickering. So the last thing we did was to complete Lady in Silver Gun. What's that? Okay, so they went through the whole list, and that's the last item. Oh, okay, so it's a video game. And, okay, so it's one of those video games where you have to play to the end, and, so they probably inserted so many coins by using continues. So, it's probably a hard game, and they were spending so much money on the continues and taking turns. Well, I wonder how much they spent on the arcade game. Because, like, well, it was so hard, but it kind of made the ending exciting. And usually it costs, like, 1 coin to use a continue. Well, I've played Capcom arcade games before, and that's how it always works. But I was using an emulator, so I just press one of the keys as a way to insert coins. But nevertheless, they got through the game and they got to see the ending. Well, I'm no good at shoot-ups or shoot-em-ups. Well, so Ageha's the best, and then Kotori, and then Aoi, well, I'm kind of a novice at playing stuff like this. So Kotori did get some practice when she skipped school. So she went to the arcade and played some games. And even though that's good to learn skills, it's really bad academically because you're supposed to be at school learning stuff and not playing games. And that's one of the reasons why schools clamp down on people that cut class. Okay. Alright, so they spent 3,000 yen to complete it. So about, let's see, it's about $20. Well, it's not a lot, but you do pay a lot just to complete one game. And that's enough to buy the game itself. Well, close to it. So back to the list. It's like, did we do everything? Well, I don't know about Kotori. I think she's trying to say that it's done so that she can get Ageha and Aoi off her back. Because she doesn't like when both of them are bothering her, especially when Kotori wants to be independent and do things that she likes without anyone bothering her. And there's some of the other items that Kotori didn't write besides that soaring through the sky one. Okay, so we come back to that first item on the list. Well, since we didn't know what that meant, we had virtually cleared the whole list. So I'm not really sure what Ageha wants. It's like, now it's kind of boring because we went through everything and now there's nothing much else to do. Well, it's dinner time anyway, so. Okay. So for some reason Kotori is still upset. Well, what's up then? Kotori's expression seems dark. Well, the same as Ageha, it looks like she feels unexpectedly disappointed now that it's all over. Like it wasn't enough. Okay. Well, hopefully your mom won't find out about this. Well, I don't know about that. Usually if you cut class, the school contacts the parents about what's going on. Or at least the parents can check on your attendance. So I think Ageha is reliant on the fact that the homeroom teacher won't catch them and mark them absent. But then again, I don't think that's gonna work anyways, because I'm pretty sure after you've been to school for a couple of days, the teacher will know who or know faces and who is present in class today without even having to do roll call. But then again, the sister. But Hotaru is quite serious. If she realizes that you hadn't gone to school, she might tell your mom, right? Well, that happens, I'm gonna blame it on you as well, so. Well, how could you? Are you gonna tell on me? Oh no, not that again. She said jokingly and turned to face Kotori. Yeah, says Kotori. Okay, see you tomorrow. Said with a smile and turned to leave. With a spring in her step, she walked up the gentle slope. So what does Kotori have for Ageha? Kotori went to say something, so Ageha stopped walking. Or want to say something. Kotori looked down and faltered as she spoke. This time she looked like she was about to cry. Ageha waited for a little while for Kotori to open her mouth. Patiently. So what does Kotori want to say to Ageha? However, Kotori didn't say any more. Hey, Habane-san. Okay, so What does Ageha want to talk to Kotori about? Seriously. It's not because about those items on the list.
お話一緒にやろうよ、ソアリング部。
Okay, so she went right to the punchline. Oh, why don't you join the Soaring Club then?
葵から聞いたよ。グライダーのこと詳しいんでしょ。ガレージに行くのいつも楽しみにしてたんでしょ。
Yeah, that's true. But Kotori, for some reason, has some reservations against joining the Soaring Club.
一緒にやったら絶対楽しいって。きっと毎日が今日みたいだよ。だからね。
So Ageha knows that Kotori is interested in gliders and flight, but it was quite surprising that Kotori turned down the, I would say, the invitation to join the Soaring Club. So Ageha closed her mouth and waited for a reply. There was no mistake that Kotori was in two minds. So what is she thinking about that's kind of holding her back from joining this club? She was certainly interested in gliders, so I think she would actually really like to join the Soaring Club. That's why now she might be able to express those feelings.
やらないって言ってるでしょ。
So the question is, why? Because we know that Kotori does not want to be in the club.
どうして？
So why?
どうしてもよ。あなたには関係ない。
Because of personal reasons? Ageha's expression dropped at Kotori's blunt refusal.
どうしてそういう言い方になるかな。余計なこと聞いてくるからでしょ。
Okay, so Kotori doesn't like how Ageha is probing her to join, or pushing her to join this club. Literally forcing her in.
そんなだからクラスでも浮いちゃうんだって思わない？
This time Kotori seemed irritated by Ageha's remark.
浮いてて悪かったわね。誰かさんみたいに八方美人じゃないだけよ。八方美人ですって。
So Ageha's getting upset. Hold it, calm down, both of you. Why are you all arguing all of a sudden? I stepped in so they can't ignore me. After all, we had such a fun day, so let's just cut it. Wait. So what's Ageha or Kotori doing to Aoi? Okay, so Ageha is pushed Aoi out of the way. It's no good. It looks like she's getting quite pissed off about the kissing up comment.
この間のことはみんなが悪いって思うよ。あんな風に言われたらハバネさんが怒るのも当然だもん。
I'm not really sure. Let me see what she's trying to say. So I don't agree with the way everyone has behaved recently. Of course, you would feel angry at them for speaking to you like that.
けどハバネさんにだって悪いところがあったと思う。どこがよ。ほらその態度。
So what's she trying to get Kotori to realize? Ageha pointed her finger at Kotori's face as if to say, "There, look, irrefutable evidence."
挑戦的っていうかなんていうか。そんなだからみんなに誤解されちゃうんだよ。今日一緒に遊んだみたいにさ、 もっと普通に打ち解ければいいじゃんか。親切にどうも別に頼んでないけど。
Well, I don't think Ageha yelling at Kotori is going to do anything to make the situation any better at this point.
何その言い方。
And Ageha pretty much let her emotions kick in, and now it looks like there's no way that she's going to have a friendly, engaging conversation with Kotori at this point.
あなたってほんと親切よね。知ってるんだから。私にやたらと話しかけてきたの先生に頼まれたからなんだって。
I wonder where Kotori got that assumption. Oh, it's because the teacher said so, or the teacher made you do so, so that you could draw me back into school. Is that true? Faltering for a moment from hearing Kotori's words, Ageha stayed tight-lipped. Her cheeks went red.
私はそれとも私のことがかわいそうだから親切にしてくれてたの？そういうのもううんざりなのよ。
Yeah, that's true. The fact that you're in a wheelchair, it doesn't mean that you have to be treated in a special manner with special care. Because that's one of the bad things about classifying people like Kotori. So Kotori told her and turned her wheelchair sideways.
Sayonara.
Hey, wait. With that, she left by herself. Hey, Ageha, you kind of went too far with that.
いいの。幅根さんの言ったこと全部本当だから。
So the teacher pushed Ageha to talk to Kotori in a special way and hopefully get her back to school? Well, but that's not the reason why you did it though, is it? Are you also being misunderstood?
ごめん。もう帰るね。
So Ageha, this time looking like she didn't want to talk, with trembling shoulders, climbed the gentle slope. I watched her from behind as she left and then hurried back to the dormitory. Kotori? Hey, Kotori! So just hit some sensitive comments about Kotori. And just because she's in a wheelchair does not mean that she needs to be treated in a special manner. But a problem with Kotori is that she refuses to open up and explain to Aoi and Ageha about what's wrong, even though Aoi and Ageha are trying to help her. And Kotori feels that you're only doing this because I'm in a wheelchair, or the fact that you're trying to force me to stay in the school that I don't like. But without knowing what's wrong with Kotori, it makes it really hard for them to figure out ways to support and help Kotori and solve all the problems that she's facing. So now we're back in the dormitory, and it looks like Aoi is trying to get her to answer, but to no response. So knock more. And what's Hat doing? So Hat came out as if to protest about the noise. Hey, is your buddy in there? What? Hey, get out of the way, will you? I move Hat out of the way, and took a peek into Kotori's room through the duck door. Oh, okay. So you just squat down and look through the doorway. Well, hat's in the way. I can't see. And unfortunately, Kanako spots Aoi. Oh, Kanako, has she come out, or has she come back yet? Okay, so Kotori's not here. So what's wrong then? Yeah, kind of. Well, can I ask you to prepare dinner? Oh, please. So Kotori is supposed to prepare dinner for Aoi, but she's not here, so. So I think she's running off like, I can't do it. Well, it's like, well, if it tastes bad, don't blame me for it. So where's Kotori? So she's outside still. So what did she mean by washing my hands? Of all of them. Well, that's not what it looks like, though. I call out to her, but without surprise, Kotori looks at me for a moment before quickly looking back at the lake. Well, at night, the lake looks like a vast black mass of darkness lying sideways. On the other side is Windmill Hill, which looks beautiful when illuminated. Since she hadn't come back to the dormitory, I guessed that she might be here, and this is where I found her. Okay, so Aoi at least knows a little bit about Kotori, and where she might be if she's not back in her room. So what are you doing here? A self-assessment? I say in a light-hearted way, but she doesn't answer. Well, let's go back. It's almost time for dinner anyways. So Kotori doesn't want to. You know, you can't stay here, can you? Well, it's gonna be cold at night. Well, why not then? So, I'm not really sure why. She mumbled quickly as her cheeks quivered for a moment. Yeah, so what do you mean? It'll all be over. But on the bright side, she kind of enjoyed today, and when she goes back into the dormitory, it means that it's all over. But then again, even though it's the end of today, there's still another day of excitement tomorrow. It sounded like she was getting tearful. Kotori. Well, I do think that Ageha is partially to blame because she was kind of forceful at the end when she tried to get Kotori to go back to school and hopefully join the Soaring Club. And when Kotori started to hold back, it triggered Ageha, and when Kotori said something that was very insulting, Ageha got worked up, and that's why it led to the argument, or why it led to the argument. Well, that's true, but you can't round it off with a fun day with an argument. But for me too, today was an unbelievably fun day. It was like going back to when I was a kid, playing stupid pranks from morning until sunset. Well, right now, the thing that makes me feel a little pleased is the fact that I know Kotori feels the same way. Okay, so about Ageha. I didn't see the things that happened in class, so I can't really say, but she's a simple person, so I don't think she would have done what the teacher asked if she didn't want to. However, even if she hadn't been asked to, she's the type of person who would have just do it anyways. And that sometimes causes problems though, right? So like Ageha likes to do things without thinking first. Well, I said jokingly, and Kotori smiled just for a little. And today she wasn't asked to, but she skipped school with us, didn't she? That was the first time she had skipped school and only stuck with us because that's how things turned out. Well, she's not a bad person. Maybe she really thinks that she wants to be your friend, and that's what I think. And even for Ageha, wouldn't go this far just for the sake of being kind. So what's up? Okay, so Kotori started to talk about the story about how she became confined to a wheelchair. Wow, so she was in a sports club as well, just like Aoi was. Really? I imagine Kotori jumping up from the floor and launching an attack on the opponent's court. No doubt about it, she would have been brilliant and spectacular. Okay, so the previous school that she went to, it doesn't really have good facilities for people in a wheelchair. And I would have to blame that on the school, because they don't really accommodate people that aren't able to walk. A step of as little as 5 centimeters is a huge obstacle for a wheelchair. That's true. So she feels that now that she's in a wheelchair, she pretty much had to sacrifice a lot of things that she used to do that she enjoyed.
仲の良かった友達は気がつくとみんな離れていってたわ。
And
一緒に遊べないんだから当然よね。
so her old friends, they kind of feel like, well, Kotori's such a burden because he's in a wheelchair now, so we can't really do things, exciting things together anymore. So they kind of feel like she's just bothering them. So she has unsupportive friends. But for Aoi, he thinks that, well, if they were your friends, they wouldn't care, and they can still hang out with you. So it's like, in a sense, they weren't really your true friends. While saying that might just be simplifying things, though. At the very least, that is her actual experience.
ある時ホームルームで私がみんなから孤立してるのに気づいた先生がこう言ったの。ハバネさんはかわいそうな子なんです。もっと仲良くしてあげましょう。
Well, at least she has a supportive teacher. It's like, well, we should all help Kotori out because she's been through all this.
すごいショックだった。自分がどんな境遇にいるのか思い知らされて。
But I think at the same time, it creates unwanted attention on Kotori.
その後一人でこっそり泣いたわ。悔しくて情けなくて。
And in a sense, Kotori is emotionally hurt.
そんな風に気を使われるのが嫌で嫌でしょうがなかった。
So like, going back to what I said, just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you need to be treated in a special manner, because it's not like this person, well, it kind of feels like you're basically using the wheelchair or exploiting the idea of being in a wheelchair. So Kotori's hands are trembling as she held onto the hem of her skirt. It looked like the frustration of that time had come back to haunt her.
だからここへ来たの。完全バリアフリーの学校なら誰にも迷惑をかけず一人でやっていけるって。
And that's why she transferred to the Keifu Academy, because it has accommodations for people in wheelchairs. So at our school, Kotori can go there by herself and can get into and out of classrooms without anyone's help.
けどやっぱりダメだった。学校って場所は一人でやっていけるようにはできてないのよね。
But I think the problem is that the commute distance between the dormitory and the school. That's another problem that I don't think Kotori realized that. Well, it's not just a physical problem. It's a social environment, and you can't get by without being involved with other people.
おまけにタイヤがパンクしたら遭難の危機だし、一人でお風呂にも入れないんですもの。なんかもう疲れちゃった。
She remembered as she spoke and looked across to Windmill Hill on the other bank. The composed forms of the giant windmills seemed to have a calming effect on her. That would be pretty tiring, wouldn't it?
でしょ？私結構頑張った方だと思わない？
I do. I agree from the bottom of my heart. I can just say something simple like, well, try harder. That's true.
ソアリング部の部員集め、うまくいってるの？
Well, I don't think that's a good question to ask for right now, because Ageha is kind of desperate, and so is Amane, and to a small extent Aoi. It looks like we might be able to do something. I just hope that we make it in time, though.
そう、よかった。あの変な先輩、ずっと一人で頑張ってたんでしょ？
Yeah, that's true.
途中で終わらせちゃかわいそうだもんね。私も一度でいいから飛んでみたかったの。
But you still see that. But you still see that Kotori is interested in the glider. Kotori narrows her eyes as she speaks. She looks across to the sky above Windmill Hill. Hey, so don't really want to quit school, do you?
そんなことないわ。お父さんやお母さんも心配してるし。
Okay, so the parents.
私が学校辞めて家に帰れば喜んでくれる。
Kotori smiled when she said that, but to me, it looked like she was forcing herself to smile. So I think the parents are trying to push her to transfer out of Keifu Academy and go back home where she can get all the support that she needs. I sat next to Kotori and just like her looked at the view of the opposite bank. Before I came back to Kazagurua, I was in the cycling racing club at a school really far from here. So when I started to speak, she glanced at me and didn't say anything while she listened to me. Well, there are sports scholarships for that as well, you know. I trained desperately every day so that I would be exempt from paying tuition fees, and in order to win races. So the practice was seriously tough, but riding the bike felt good, so it didn't really feel like such a hard work. So bicycle road races are incredibly tiring. In a big competition, you cycle 100 kilometers in one day. Well, it is kind of intense, but that's how you have to do. That's what you have to face when you are in a pretty intense competition.
100キロ。それはすごいわね。
It is, isn't it? Also, you have to go over hills on the way. So hill climbing is a complete hell. While climbing, I always wanted to give up. But after climbing it, cycling down the hill feels amazing. So I couldn't tell if Kotori was impressed or envious when she responded. Well, that part is fun, so that's why I thought I'd try racing. And I came in third for one competition.
すごいじゃない。それって全国大会だったの？
Yes, it was. Actually, that is one of the few things that I can be proud of. So Ancha came to watch, and I was really happy about that. Wait, I don't think I always should be using nicknames for Kotori, because Kotori doesn't know who Anchan is. But then I got greedy, or I should say like I got too ambitious. So in the first race of the second year, I had an accident. Well, in the middle of the downhill section, I was involved with another bike that have fallen down, and of all things. So in that situation, I was competing with several other bikes. I was in a hurry to get to the front and got too close to another bike. And then that's when the accident occurred. So the other bike suddenly lost its balance, and I got tangled up with it and hit the asphalt while traveling at high speeds. And with a bitter smile, I rolled up the leg of my pants on the right leg and shoulder. So with that accident, my life as a racer ended all too soon. So the scar from the surgery is still fresh. So Kotori looked at it and seemed to be lost for words. Well, if it were her, she would be able to say that she got away with just the scar. And with rehabilitation, I was able to walk again, and now have no problems with everyday life, and the doctors said so too. But I can't ride a bicycle anymore.
それが前の学校を辞めた理由?
And yes, for Aoi. I was a scholarship student, so it was hard for me to be there after I withdrew from school, but I could have stayed there. However, my friends from the cycling racing club were there, and I watched them practice. And while I watched them doing their best from afar, I was unable to live a normal life. My legs recovered after the rehabilitation, but instead I felt depressed. I thought that it would have been better if I couldn't move it at all, because I could have just given up on it. It was painful and difficult, and I didn't know how to handle all my unfocused thoughts. And that's why I came back. I ran away to my hometown, and somehow I felt a sense of relief, and I wrapped the story. And now that I think about it, this is the first time I've spoken to Kotori about this. I haven't even confided in Ageha and the others about this. Well, I don't think he should do that, because that's going to bring in more problems than help.
逃げたくなることもあるわ。生きるのって楽しいことより辛いことの方が多いんだもの。
So the things that Kotori says to comfort me are actually really pessimistic. Well, I think it's more like Aoi trying to comfort Kotori. That must be how she really feels. However, I didn't tell her this because I wanted to be comforted. And there's still things that I want to say. So there's some things that I realized from running away. There's nowhere else to go. So maybe like his old adventures of cycling will at some point come back to haunt him. So there's nowhere left to run to.
あるわよ。あなたなら他にも。
So I'm not really sure why Kotori's saying this. Like other ways. Well, I thought I would regret it running away, I mean. But it wasn't like that. My hometown was the same as it always was, and it kind of welcomed me back.
よかったじゃない。
That makes it even worse. Well, it feels like I'm gradually being paralyzed. The pain. So I think when he moved back here, kind of reminded him about how he wanted to become a competitive person in cycling. Like how he started to show interest in doing cycling. And even though he's trying to scratch that all out of his mind, the fact that it kind of connects him to the past really brings up those depressed memories. The importance of the things that I lost. I'm forgetting them little by little. And if I lose that, will I still be the same me? Well, the glider? Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm excited to think that I could fly in it. I envision myself flying through the air as I look into the night sky. And after that, Kotori looks down. So do you have something like that? Well, something ahead of you if you quit school and go back to your hometown. Kotori looked at me like she was in shock. She desperately tried to hold back the tears that were welling up and about to fall from her eyes. Well, whether something lay ahead or not, I realized then she had a deep conflict within, even more than I thought she had. So you don't think there's anything ahead, do you? That's why if you have nothing left to do, then everything's over. Well, if you want a bath, I'll help you get in. If you get a puncture, I'll fix it for you. I'll help you if you need it, so what do you say? A tear ran down Kotori's cheek, but it was only a single tear. Well, don't be too nosy about Kotori's situation. And she still wants that withdrawal notice from Aoi. Okay, so he goes and gets the withdrawal notice. So when I held the withdrawal notice in my hand, the terrible things that I had said to her came to the back of my mind. So do you have something like that? Something ahead of you if you quit school and go back to your hometown. I regret those words as I offer her the withdrawal notice. So you drop this and I pick it up. However, Kotori didn't take it straight away. For her to take that, it would be for her to decide on her own future. But in the end, she reached out her hand. So what's wrong? I quickly pulled it away and she seemed embarrassed. Well, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so he's holding it back from Kotori still. I held onto it and left the room. Okay, so Kanako's like, it's time for dinner. I will walk up beside Kanako, and as I made it look like I'm rummaging around the kitchen. So what's going on? So not long after, Kotori comes into the dining hall. Okay, so she still wants it. And now Kaneko hears the conversation. Well, that's too bad. I've already hidden it somewhere else. I won't accept it. Just give it another chance. Well, feelings that the situation wasn't fair were bubbling up inside me. I know how Kotori feels. It must have been incredibly difficult, and it makes me feel a pain in my chest just imagining it. Well, it's only been 10 days since I came here. I feel like I want to do something for her, but this isn't the right time that I've been given too short. I get it. I'm just being nosy. I totally get it. Well, no way. If you want it back, just look for it yourself. Well, the hell if I know. I whistled badly and played dumb. Kotori's face had gone red. Looks like her rage gauge had reached max. I'll just write a new one. Firing off a few parting shots, Kotori hurries out of the dining hall. Okay, that's good to know. The door at the end of the hallway closed with a big slam. So she does not know for real. I pulled the piece of paper out from under my shirt. So I'll keep it in my hands for now. Well, thanks for your help. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop here. I know I've kind of crunched a lot in this episode. But, we see that Aoi's trying his best to help Kotori by connecting his experiences with Kotori's experiences. And hopefully it gets Kotori to understand that, just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean that, your freedom has all gone away. And even though you do lose some of the things that you enjoyed, it doesn't mean that all hope is lost. And Aoi has been through a similar experience with Kotori about his cycling experience. But hopefully it might get Kotori to reconsider her motives over withdrawing from school and going back to where she came from. And hopefully Ageha can reconnect ties with Kotori, because Ageha was kind of being a little bit too much when she tried to force Kotori back into school and join the club. But we have to go little by little at a time. So let's see what happens next, or the following, or today, in the next episode. So with that in mind, I'll see you later.